Hola, yo soy Fer, fundadora de VIAC, y esto es Estudios por el Mundo, un podcast sobre cómo estudiar, aprender idiomas y trabajar en el extranjero. Bienvenidos. Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a otro podcast. Yo soy Fer y ya saben que me encanta hacer este tipo de conversación virtual con ustedes porque aunque no nos veamos, yo me imagino que estoy con ustedes aquí tomándome un cafecito y la verdad es que siempre lo hago con mi cafecito al lado y me imagino que estoy con tú que me estás escuchando, contigo y platicándote un poquito de mis experiencias. En este episodio lo quiero hacer un poco diferente. He estado haciendo anotaciones sobre qué tipo de temas les gusta más. Obviamente tenemos un montón de información en nuestras cuentas de TikTok y de Instagram, que por cierto, si no nos sigues, te invito a que nos des seguir. Voy a dejar los links en la descripción debajo o en las notas del podcast de Spotify. Pero hoy quiero hacer algo divertido y sacarte de tu zona de confort. Hoy te voy a contar sobre mi experiencia personal de cómo me decidí por la universidad o en el país donde estoy, en este caso Inglaterra, pero te lo voy a decir en inglés. ¿Y por qué en inglés? En primer lugar, quiero que ocupen esta plataforma también para que puedan subir su confianza y su seguridad cuando están hablando un segundo idioma. Van a escuchar que al final mi primer idioma es español. Entonces, probablemente el que escuchen a otra persona, a latinoamericana, mexicana como yo, hablando en otro idioma y que estoy trabajando en una universidad supervisando estudiantes británicos mientras hacen sus ensayos y sus tesis, te va a dar esa seguridad y confianza de decir, yo también puedo hacerlo. Entonces quiero aprovechar este podcast, hacer un tipo storytelling de cómo me decidí y cómo investigué y demás, obviamente en inglés. Y esto me inspiró porque uno de mis colegas me dice, ay, para mí siempre se me han dificultado los idiomas. Le dije, bueno, es que pues al final aprender un idioma nuevo también es como cuando eras pequeño. O sea, nosotros no nacimos hablando español. Nosotros aprendimos a hablar el idioma al escuchar todos los días a nuestros papás o a nuestros familiares o a la gente que convivía con nosotros. Entonces, la mejor manera de aprender un idioma es a través de la escucha. Y obviamente eso te va a ayudar después a que puedas realizar las conversaciones. Ojo, no soy profesora de inglés, me encantan los idiomas, te doy mis tips y consejos de cosas o de herramientas que a mí me han funcionado también. Y una de ellas es estar escuchando canciones, podcasts, videos en otros idiomas. Entonces, espero que lo disfrutes. Si te gusta ese tipo de formatos, porfa, dígame para que hagan más podcasts en otros idiomas. Actualmente podría hacerlo en francés y en inglés. Hablo portugués, pero tal vez no es el que domino al C1 como el inglés y el francés, pero con mucho gusto díganme y si les gusta podemos seguir haciendo temas distintos en inglés o en francés, ¿va? Entonces, que lo disfruten. Alright guys, so of course, for those that you don't know, I am working at the University of Sunderland in the United Kingdom. You might be wondering what Sunderland is or where is it? So this is the first thing I want to talk about. Sunderland, it's not even close to London. And a lot of people, when we think about England or the United Kingdom, the first thing that comes in our head is London. So you have no idea how many people, family members, even my parents have to ask me, so how's London? I'm like, I don't know, it's super far from where I live. I actually live closer to Edinburgh, which is the capital of Scotland, rather than in the south of England, which is where London is. So even the closest airport would be the one in Newcastle upon Tyne. And if you're a football fan, you might have heard about the Newcastle United Football Club. They currently play in the Premier League, and they are actually now one of the richest football clubs here in the United Kingdom. So I am pretty sure this is going to bring lots of investment to the city. But well, I am not going to talk about football today. I am actually going to talk about or discuss how I ended up in here. Basically, when I was doing my research about where to study my master's in education, I was planning on going somewhere where I could practice my English skills or French skills or whatever. I knew I didn't want something in Spanish because that would keep me in my comfort zone. So even though I thought Spain as one of the options, it was not my first option. I knew that if I wanted to do a master's in education, wherever the country was, I needed to upgrade my English skills to a C1 level. So that would mean to like keep studying or even hire a private tutor or whatever that would help me to achieve my goal. My first option was actually the Netherlands or Holland, not Amsterdam, but closer to it, there's a city called Maastricht that has a really good university. And I had different priorities set for this experience. And one of them is that I wanted to start my master's during January. And I didn't want to wait until September. Back then, that was it was suitable for my life goals. And to be honest, I was already traveling during those dates, so it suited perfectly if I found a master's starting in January. So this specific master I saw at the Maastricht University was not suitable because of the dates and the specific requirements. For example, I needed a GMAT, which is a graduate exam, like a graduate's admission exam that I think in the United States quite popular for those Ivy League universities. So yeah, I didn't want to do that. I wanted something that it was within my time range. And that's how I started doing some research. One of my friends back then, he was already living in Newcastle. So I decided to talk to him and say, how's the United Kingdom? How do you feel about the cost of living, the people? And he started talking to me and saying this amazing stuff about the northeast of England. And to be honest, guys, I did not expect that it was going to be like that. I think most of us, when we think about England or the British people, we think of, the stereotype. They're gonna be cold people, they don't like foreigners, or, the stereotype. However, it's so different. So different. Like, the northeast of England is like Mexican people. Warm people, party people, friendly people. And I think it's not as international as London and the south of England, and that makes it even more special because you get to see a lot of diversity and a lot of international students, but still quite nice to have this discussions and opportunities to meet with locals, which means having friends from the UK that will push you to, or your limits or your limiting beliefs about how you speak English. And I think that was one of the things that actually helped me the most to be better while speaking English. I still have some flaws. That's normal. As I said at the beginning of this podcast, my first language and my mother tongue is Spanish. So I might have some mispronunciation, or I might be using different prepositions. Nowadays, I still confuse when to use in, when to use on. But believe me, taking that step or making that decision of doing your master's in another language, it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. I could definitely see myself now as a much skilled person, and I love speaking English. I don't care how my accent sounds anymore. I don't care if they say that I sound like a Hispanic person. I don't care. Because deciding where to study your master's impacts in a very positive way, as you will be developing not only your skills while studying, but also your confidence, your self-esteem, how to approach new people. At the end, they are local, so you might be shy at the beginning, like, oh my God, they're gonna criticize my language, or how, like, my accent, or I am gonna be, I don't know, messing up every time I speak. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So if you ask me based on my experience, how do I decide where to study? I will tell you from now on, decide where you will be out of your comfort zone. Something that will add up in your life, personal skills, professional skills, but also your life skills. You will improve so much with your communication skills, with your social skills, and all of those skills will give you the tools to actually get a better job, to succeed at your job interviews, even to make friends, because that's gonna be part of your daily life, not only with your classmates, but people that you're gonna meet outside the university, when you go out, when you go to a day trip, whatever the situation is. So for me, at the end, I made a list of priorities, and number one was I wanted a master's that started in January, and for me was one of the decisive key points that took me to where I am right now, which I don't regret at all, because now I'm working in here and I am working at the university, which that's what I wanted from day one. So if you ask me, just make a list of priorities. Make sure that your first 3 priorities are within your choices. Make one of your list items to be, I want to be out of my comfort zone, because not only, as I said, will enhance your life skills, it will definitely be an important part of your life CV, which I'm pretty sure if you're listening to this podcast, it's one of the things that you want to accomplish when you go and do a postgraduate abroad. So I am really, really, really happy you made it until the end, because that means that you understood everything I said. Si entendiste todo lo de este podcast y sabes cuál es tu siguiente paso, déjamelo saber en los comentarios. Me encanta hacer estos tipos de episodios, así que si quieres hablar de algo en particular o quieres que te cuente algún tema, ya sea en español o en inglés, déjamelo saber, que con mucho gusto te lo voy a preparar. El podcast es algo mucho más casual, es algo más informal, porque quiero platicarles más sobre mi experiencia, sobre cómo tomé esas decisiones de venirme a otro país a trabajar. Y aún así, pues teniendo la consultoría en México, es una gran oportunidad para que ustedes vean que todos los sueños se pueden manifestar y volverse realidad. Recuerda que simplemente tienen que tener la confianza en sí mismos, imaginar que todo es posible. Así que, ¿cómo me puedes tú ayudar a mí? Simplemente dime qué te gustaría saber, de qué quisieras que yo te hablara, porque al final, aunque no estemos cara a cara, estoy segura que todas las dudas que tú tienes le van a servir a alguien más. Te agradezco mucho que hayas estado el día de hoy conmigo. Ahí nos vemos en otro podcast. ¡Chao!